You just might end up making the world a better place. But first, you have to discover who you are and what you can learn from others. To do that, you have to seek out teachers and mentors who will help you identify your goals and challenge you to go after them. Before you can do that, you have to find a community that welcomes and supports you. A place where you can learn. A place where you can thrive. Before you can do that, you must have motivation and desire to improve your mind, your soul, your circumstances. To ignite that desire, you must find your potential. We'll help you discover your potential once you discover us. Elmhurst University.
Welcome you to beautiful Langhorst Field on the campus of Elmhurst University as we bring you Blue Jay football. It's the season opener here this afternoon as the Blue Jays of Elmhurst University in a non-conference battle will take on the Falcons from the University of Wisconsin, River Falls. And a very pleasant good afternoon, everyone, and a marvelous Labor Day weekend. It is great to have you back for another exciting season of Blue Jay football season opener this afternoon. The Blue Jays and the Falcons. The opening toss won by the Falcons. They have elected to receive. So you see the Blue Jays, the left-hand part of your monitor. They will kick it off here this afternoon. Trey Stabline will kick it off here for the Blue Jays. This is the second meeting. These two teams met a year ago for the first time, and it was University of Wisconsin River Falls coming away with the victory 45-7. That was back on September 4th of last year at David Smith Stadium in River Falls. So the Blue Jays on their home field here looking for a little revenge against the Falcons. Gorgeous 87 degrees here at kickoff. Not a lot of wind to speak of, and it is just ideal temperature weather conditions here at Langhorst Field. Pretty deep kick taken at the 8-yard line and returning it across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So that's where the Falcons will set up shop. Pretty nice return there by Andrew Steiger. And out comes the Falcon offense. And folks, this is a high-powered, high-intensity offense. Caleb Blaha is the quarterback. And on the very first play, they kick it out here on the screen to number 23. That's Tim Owen. And you'll see the no-huddle offense here. You'll see this pretty much all afternoon. This is a high-powered offense, and we'll set the defense for you for the Blue Jays here after that 5-yard catch. And now across the 40-yard line and picking up the first down will be Caleb Blaha, the sophomore quarterback, 6'2", 195-pounder, transferred in from Winona State. And on 1st and 10, they're going to hand the ball off, and across the 45 to the 46-yard line was Tim Owen. So Owen gets the catch, and now he gets a rush to the 46-yard line. Defensively for the Blue Jays, up front, J.P. Fitzgerald, Luke Harrison, Devin Schmidt, Justin Samuels, good linebackers, Jake Masco, of course, Bryce Gable. The defense is going to revolve around Gable. Now it's the keeper from Blaha, and he will pick up the first down as the Falcons are into Blue Jay territory on this opening drive at the 47 of Elmhurst. Blaha looking now to the right, and that one is a bit low. Incomplete. Andy Grebner, the senior wide receiver from Andover, Minnesota, the intended target. Boy, and again, even on incompletes, they just line up and ready to go here. Antonio Carrillo, by the way, the other linebacker. The two corners, Jeremy Innes, Chris Reeves, Colton Kraus, and Gino Cerrone are the safeties for the Blue Jays. This is
offense, number 6, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That's a 5-yard penalty against Mason Van Zeeland, the 6'4" sophomore wide receiver from Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Pushes the Falcons back to their own 48-yard line. 2nd down and 15. Blaha under some pressure now as he flushes out to the far side, and he's going to get tackled for a loss. Good pursuit defensively by the Blue Jays. Gable was in on that tackle for Elmhurst and puts the Falcons all the way back to their 44-yard line. 4-yard loss, 3rd down and 19 now. Another penalty marker down and another flag down. This may be 2 separate penalties, and now Blaha goes down at the 41-yard line. Jake Masco,
brought down for a
number 11, was there for the TFL, but let's see what the penalty markers are all about. And again, there were 2 on the play. Jeremy Mancia is your referee.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the offense. Illegal formation, 5 players in the backfield. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, shot clock. Number 75, that penalty is also declined. 4th down.
4th down facing the Falcons.
So the penalties are declined, and the Blue Jays gave up a couple of first downs, but they have held, and the Falcons are going to punt it away.
Should be 20,
Tim's punt in the air.
Takes a Falcon roll. Stabline catches it at his own 4-yard line for a return of about a yard back to the 6-yard line. So out comes the Blue Jay offense as they are pinned back pretty good here. But Connor Buck, junior transfer from Aurora University, coming out at quarterback. Good size, 6'5", 200-pound quarterback will lead this Blue Jay offense.
Elmhurst starting 1st and 10.
A year ago, the Blue Jays averaged just under 11 points per contest. Julian Cavallo is the running back for the Blue Jays. Winston Brown, Gabe Holtke, Max McCarville, the wide receivers. Hayden Beck is the starting tight end.
The ball carrier.
Cavallo gets the call here on this first play from scrimmage. Caleb Johnson, the middle linebacker, 6'1" senior, was there to make the stop. A 2-yard pickup by Cavallo. It'll be 2nd down and 8 here for the Blue Jays. Just underway here from beautiful Langhorst Field. Season opener, non-conference battle Elmhurst and UW River Falls. To the air and the far side, and that's going to be a first down. And the completion,
Caught by McCarville.
Max McCarville, the 5'11 sophomore from Kenosha, Wisconsin, gets the catch.
Borgerding gets credit for the stop.
And it's going to be a first down. Borgerding, Aaron Borgerding, the sophomore free safety, who had 4 picks a year ago for the Falcons, was there for the stop. Equipment timeout.
Put the play clock at 25 seconds. Thank you.
Change the play clock to 25 seconds. And that's what Coach McDonald, I tell you, he was talking about Connor Buck and what he was impressed with Buck, who, by the way, was enrolled back in January, is his, he can really zip the ball, he said. He's a true student of the game, a high football IQ, makes excellent decisions at that quarterback position. And what's nice, Noah Henkel, who started the last 2 seasons at quarterback, he is, I guess you can call him the backup. Perhaps he may get in certain situations, but boy, it's nice to have that experience as the second quarterback. So Connor Buck with his first completion. The offensive line, Chris Peterson at left tackle. Good to have him back. Larson Lovelace. Don Brown is back at center. Caden Cornell is the right guard. He is a freshman from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And Chuck Usen on the right side, the right tackle, the junior from Brookfield, Wisconsin. Chuck was injured a bit last year, so it's good to have him back on that offensive line. Captain Hayden Beck, I mentioned him at tight end. Defensively for the Falcons, up front, Jake Halsey, Drew Hahn, Frank Hartman, and Kyle Burkhart. The linebackers, Calvin Rosine, Caleb Johnson, who had the tackle a moment ago, Andrew Schumacher. The 2 corners, and they are very good ones. The 2 Browns, Michael Brown and Dylan Brown, and the 2 safeties, Aaron Bordering and Dom Turner. So it looks like we are ready to go. The Blue Jays with the 1 victory a year ago. They knocked off the Big Blue of Milliken here at Langhorst Field. Meanwhile, River Falls went 9-2 a year ago. Cavallo, the ball carrier, and he will get it across the 20 to the 22-yard line for a gain of 6. So a good piece of running there by the 5'10 junior from South Bend, Indiana.
Brown and Ying with the tackle for River Falls.
Last time these 2 teams played, the Blue Jays with just 12 first downs in the entire game. They punted the ball 12 times. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of your monitor. Buck looks deep across the middle and well overthrown. Gabe Holtke was the intended target. And so it is now going to be 3rd down, 5 yards to go here for the Blue Jays. Their opening possession of the game. These Falcons, I tell you, they highly ranked. They were ranked number 18 in the country among Division III schools.
I get it on the rush or complete pass, but incomplete time.
According to D3Football.com, highest ranking in the school's history. They were ranked number 22 previously. Pump fake by Connor Buck, and he will slide across the 25. Let's see where they spot it. And it is, well, it's going to be back at the 24-yard line. So they are going to be about 3 yards short. Coach McDonald in his 4th year as the head coach of the Blue Jays. And the punting unit coming on for Elmhurst. Ryan Brenner, the 5'11 senior from Gilman, Illinois, will punt it away here for the Blue Jays. So each team opening possession will result in a punt.
Brenner to kick it away for Elmhurst.
Brenner, a high punt. It's going to be fair caught by Michael Brown at the 41-yard line. So the second, check that, around the 42-yard line. So the second offensive possession here. Out comes Caleb Blaha in this Falcon offense. Back to work. Last year, when these two teams played up in River Falls, the Falcons amassed over 500 total yards of offense. But they lost some key players from last year's team, and including their quarterback, who was just Mr. Everything, Cole Heinrichsen. Blaha's pass is complete at midfield. TJ Little with the catch at the 49-yard line of Elmhurst. It's a 9-yard pickup, so it'll bring up second down and short now for the Falcons. Blaha is going to hand it off. Little will get the first down as he stiff arms a man and dives across the 45 to the 44-yard line. And another first down for the Falcons. Bryce Scable, of course, the senior linebacker from Granville, Michigan, one of the 4 captains for this Blue Jay squad. And this is TJ Little, and he will dive short of the 40-yard line. It's spotted at the 41-yard line. 3-yard gain, second down and 7. Blaha with one clap. And now he stands up and looks to the Falcons sideline. Blaha is going to keep it himself. And he will get across the 35 where he needed to get to pick up a first down. It looks like they're going to spot it right at the 35-yard line. But that will be enough for a, well, is it? It looks like they're going to be short of about a half a yard. Third down. Blaha hands it off. Hesitation by TJ Little. Waited for an opening and went up that A gap, if you will, and picked up the first down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line of the Blue Jays.
Gerald with the Elmhurst tackle. First down on that run for River Falls.
Matt Walker, in his 12th year as the head coach of the Falcons, has done a real nice job with the Falcons, working with the quarterbacks.
Canfield with the catch.
At the 8, first down? No. Where's he at? 21.
Pass is complete at the 21-yard line. And now back to the ground game. It's Little, and he will pick up 3. Pretty good balance here in this offensive possession. Andre Hunt, number 97, was there for the tackle for the Blue Jays. Blaha, the quarterback keeper, takes it straight up the middle, and he'll get tackled at the 16-yard line.
Scott with the tackle. Gain of 1.
Scott with the tackle. It's a pickup of 1. And again, that no-huddle offense, and it's Little, breaks a couple tackles, fumbles, and the Blue Jays may have recovered, and they have.
He fumbles.
TJ Little coughs it up here for the Falcons, and the Blue Jays have recovered. So that's the good news. You see the replay there. Not exactly sure who covered it up.
Where's the ball at?
But the Blue Jays will have the ball. That's the good news. But the bad news is, for the second straight possession, the Blue Jays start their possession inside their own 10. First and 10 at their own 7-yard line.
Credit for forcing that fumble.
So good job by the Blue Jay defense. And now it's Connor Buck in the offense back to work. Just under 8 minutes remaining here in this opening quarter. No score, non-conference battle. Blue Jays and the Falcons. And it's Cavallo, the ball carrier. And he will dive close to the
Tripped up by Hahn.
9-yard line. Drew Hahn, the junior defensive tackle from Elburn, Illinois, made the stop. 2-yard gain, second down, 8 yards to go for the Blue Jays. Clock moving here, just under 8 minutes remaining.
Gain of 2 on
here in the opening quarter. Connor Buck working out of the gun. Cavallo is flanked to the right of him, and he's going to give to Cavallo once again.
The ball carrier.
Cavallo fights his way forward. Good strength there. Corey Maloney was there to make the stop.
With the tackle for the Falcons.
So third down and call it 5 here for the Blue Jays. Again, Connor Buck, 6'5", good size, good decision making. Now we've got a
Officials timeout.
well, looks like Julian is going to come out of the game here momentarily. Zach Norman checks in for him, 5'11" junior from Des Plaines, Illinois. Went to Maine West High School. He is to the left of Buck. Buck pitches it to him, and it's going to be awful close to a first down. I believe he got it. However, a penalty marker coming down from the far sideline.
Schmidt with the tackle.
Where is he? Did he get to? Looks like he's a yard. Short.
Holding, offense, number 88. Half the distance to the goal. Third down.
So that'll bring that back. Hayden Beck guilty of the holding call, the tight end, so that'll push him back. Rest of the umpiring crew, Steve Sawicki is the umpire. The head line judge is Brett Anderson. The line judge is Kevin Kroniak. Sign judge is Steve McLaughlin. Field judge Anthony Walker. And the back judge is Scott Stanzak. Half the distance back to the 6-yard line now, and it's going to be third down and long for the Blue Jays. 3rd and 10. Buck steps up, and he is going to be sacked in the end zone, and it's going to be a safety. So Connor Buck gets sacked in the end zone, and the Falcons are on the board 2-0 with 6.5 minutes left to play in the opening quarter. Buck just did not have the time, and once the pocket collapsed, there was nowhere to go for Connor Buck. So the big penalty, that holding penalty against the Blue Jays, that was the key play, in my opinion, to that drive. That pushed them back, forced the Blue Jays in a 3rd and long situation, and Buck gets tackled in the end zone for the safety.
What was the time, 6:30? Yes, sir.
Mentioned these two teams last year. Falcons led 17-0, but late in the first half, a pick 6 by Bryce Gable, and the Blue Jays went into the locker room trailing just 17-7, but the Falcons, with 3 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter of that game, broke the game wide open, and the Falcons won 45-7. So
Little and Trejo back deep.
Sure, Coach McDonald telling his club before this game that, hey, we need to stay in this game early.
Line to kick it away.
Trey Stabline decides to kick it the traditional method. Across the 30, boy, the Falcons are going to get excellent field position here. Close to midfield on the return there was Andrew Steiger, sophomore, Stewartsville, Minnesota.
Who'd you say tackle? 43. Which 49?
Chris Reeves there for the tackle for the Blue Jays. So it's going to be 1st and 10. Caleb Laha and the Falcons, their 3rd offensive possession of the game. It starts at their own 49-yard line. Quick hit to the far side, complete, and close to a first down, depending on the spot. It's going to be about a 9-yard pickup. Luke Cush was the intended target, and he gets the reception, the sophomore from Fort Ripley, Minnesota. And it's just going to be a first down here as Blaha gets whipped down right around the 30-yard line. Antonio Carrillo, the junior linebacker, local product out of the York High School here in Elmhurst, makes the tackle. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Now a quick hit to Cush.
Pass complete to Cush.
And he gets across the 25 down to the 24-yard line, a gain of 6. 2nd down and 4.
Dennis with the tackle.
Cush with 8 catches for over 100 yards a year ago. 3 wide receivers now to the top of your monitor. 2nd down and 4. 5.5 minutes left here in the opening quarter. Blaha hands the ball off of left tackle. Michael Krieger gets the call for a couple.
Gable and Scott on the tackle.
And Krieger, he spells his last name the same as I do, Krueger, but he pronounces it Krieger, the old German way instead of Kruger like I do.
Blaha, the ball carrier.
Blaha keeps it, and there is a penalty marker down.
DeVries with credit for the tackle.
DeVries was there to make the stop. And this is going to be a penalty against the Falcons.
What do you say? Legal motion.
Legal motion.
Illegal shift. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
So it's still 3rd down. In last year's game, Falcons had 6 penalties for 95 yards. The Blue Jays had 7 penalties for 50 yards. 3rd down. And about 8 yards to go. Call it 7 here for the Falcons. Blaha is going to run it, cut back, and perhaps
Blaha, the ball carrier.
get to the 25-yard line. It's going to be well short. It's going to be 5 yards short of the 1st down.
Where's the line?
So you are looking right now at about a 42-yard field goal, and forget that. The Falcons are going for it here. 4th down, and call it 7. Blaha under trouble, but he's got a lot of room here on the near side. And Blaha breaks a tackle, dives over a few would-be tacklers, and he is going to get a 1st down at the 15-yard line.
Down on that carry.
Charles Scott was there to make sure he didn't go any further, but what an individual effort there by the quarterback, Caleb Blaha. Falcons up 2-0 on a 1st quarter safety. Play clock down to 14 now. Blaha out of the gun. Blaha is going to hand it off to Krieger, and Krieger will get close to the 10-yard line. He'll pick up 5.
Gain of 5 on the play.
See, those I can do ever.
And it'll be 2nd down. Call it 5 here for the Falcons. Again, River Falls ranked number 18th in the country. Blaha has some time now. He's going to step up and run, and he'll get inside the 5 and tackle at about the 4-yard line. Devin Schmidt, big number 64, out of Elmwood Park. The 6'1 senior was in on the stop for the Blue Jays.
Krause with the tackle.
A little over 10 minutes remaining here in this opening quarter. Blaha hands it off. Krieger, and he is in. Michael Krieger, the sophomore from River Falls, Wisconsin. 4 yards out, and it's the first touchdown of the afternoon, and the Falcons are up now by a score of 8-0 pending the extra point.
Henry to attempt the extra point.
In for the extra point for the Falcons.
Kick is up.
Cade Henry,
No good.
and that one is no good as Henry pulls it to the left. Henry is a 5'10 junior out of Yorkville, so he pulls it to the left, and it is, well, 8-0 now, favor of the Falcons. So interesting to see if the Blue Jays do score a touchdown, if they'll go for the 2 to try to tie it up here, but we're moving ahead of ourselves here. 3 minutes and 4 seconds remaining here in the 1st quarter. We're glad to have you with us here on BlueJayTV.com. Mark Kruger, along with our executive producer of Sunrise.tv, Glenn Liljeberg. It is an absolute gorgeous Saturday afternoon. Glad to have us part of your Labor Day weekend. 87 degrees at kickoff, and you have to figure that down on the field, it's got to be over 90 degrees down there, so
Perry.
Hopefully everybody is hydrated. Of course, they needed to do that yesterday.
Cockrell also back there for Elmhurst.
Dawson Kriske kick it off here for the Falcons. A low line drive kick, takes a high bounce, taken at the 5-yard line, and on the return, the Blue Jays, about a 15-yard return to the 20-yard line, and so that's where the Blue Jays will go back to work.
For River Falls. Elmhurst first and 10.
So Connor Buck
1 yard line.
and the Blue Jays getting some final instructions from the sideline. New offensive coordinator added to the staff back in February, Zach Shaw. Some final instructions to his offensive unit. First and 10 Blue Jays from their own 21. Gabe Holtke is the motion man, and they're going to run the ball. This is Cavallo. And he'll get to the 29-yard line.
The tackle.
No, that's the 24. 25.
Check that. I'm sorry. It's the 24-yard line. A gain of 3. Second down and 7 here for the Blue Jays from their own 24. Buck hands it off again to Cavallo, trying to get to the corner, but he cannot quite get there.
Right side.
Wrapped up by Dylan Brown. Coach Walker telling me that his 2 corners, the 2 Browns, are 2 of the best corners that you will see. And that time it was Dylan Brown, the 6'4" sophomore, making the stop. Third down and 7 now for Buck and the Blue Jays. Buck pressure up the middle. Boy, that one got deflected, and it just falls incomplete. Heavy pressure by the Falcons. Kelvin Rosine, the outside linebacker, making the pressure, and so now the Blue Jays are going to have to punt it away. Ryan Brenner comes in for the second time this afternoon. Michael Brown back deep for the Falcons. See if Brenner can get off a good one there, and it is fair caught at the 41-yard line by Brown, and so that's where the Falcons will take over. Other non-conference action today, CCIW teams, Augustana at home today in Rock Island taking on Rhodes. Carthage is at Albion. Greenville is down in Decatur to take on Milliken, and North Park hosting Manchester this afternoon. Those are the other non-conference games in the CCIW. Of course, the Cardinals of North Central College favored to repeat as conference champions. And this one is complete here to the near sideline. That's Ron Beauchamp, I should say, the freshman wide receiver from Phoenix City, Alabama. Comes up with the catch right at midfield. Second down and about a half a yard. Blaha on the option. And it's Owen. He will pick up the first down. There is a late penalty marker down as Owen went out of bounds on the far sideline. Flag comes in, and it's resting at the 48 of the Blue Jays.
Holding, offense, number 62, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Eric Bark, 6'3" junior from River Falls, guilty of the infraction. And so the Falcons will get pushed back to their own 43-yard line. Blaha with some time over the middle, and that pass is incomplete. Boy, he was open there for a second. A.J. Morrison, the 5'10" junior out of Cottage Grove, Minnesota, was the intended target.
James was on the coverage.
University of Wisconsin River Falls out of that tough Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Blaha looked right, wasn't there. Now trying to set up the screen here to the near side to Tim Owen. Was not a good pass. Owen just got his fingertips on it. Antonio Carrillo on the coverage. And so now it's going to be 4th down and long. And the punting unit coming in for the Falcons. So a nice job by this Blue Jay defense.
Joining in is Perry.
And the Blue Jays, remember the first 2 possessions started inside their own 10. So hopefully they will get better field position here after this. Oh, they're going to fake it. They're going to throw, and the pass is caught. And it's going to be a 1st down and more. Aaron Borgerding.
Perry with the tackle.
Oh, my. So some trickery here. You'll take another look at it here.
He caught it. 5. Oh, crap. Who threw it?
You see the pass there by TJ Clay. And the pass is caught by Borgerding and the Falcons. With a big special teams play all the way down to the Blue Jay 32. Man. What a call by head coach Matt Walker and the Falcon coaching staff. Now Blaha, there was some contact there, but just an incomplete pass. Schumacher was the intended target there, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10 with 39 seconds to go in the quarter. Well, despite everything, it's just a 1-score difference. Back to the ground game now, and it's Krieger. And he'll get to the 25-yard line for a pickup of 7. Take another look at it here. 2nd down and short. It was Bryce Gable that came up with the tackle. Bryce with 117 tackles a year ago. All-conference performer, all-region performer a year ago. Blaha on the quarterback keeper as he dives into the red zone to the 19-yard line. Gable was there once again. And the Falcons probably will get another playoff because that's just how they run their offense. And nope, it looks like they will not get another playoff. So 1 quarter in the books here from Langhorst Field, and it's the visiting Falcons from the University of Wisconsin. River Falls leading the Blue Jays of Elmhurst by a score of 8-0. You are logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Back to Langhorst Field, just about ready to get the 2nd quarter underway here. Glad to have you with us. Blue Jay football season opener between the Blue Jays and the Falcons from the University of Wisconsin River Falls, which, by the way, located about 30 miles southeast of St. Paul, Minnesota. 250 miles northwest of Madison, so it's in that western part of the state of Wisconsin. So they get a lot of recruits from Minnesota. Blaha's pass, the little slant pattern to complete to Shoemaker, Andrew Shoemaker, and he will get inside the 5-yard line.
What is going on?
Kraus with the tackle.
So it's going to be 1st and goal. Colton Kraus, one of the 4 captains from Racine, Wisconsin, makes the tackle. Blaha is going to keep it himself off the left tackle, and he'll get to about the 2. Pickup of a couple just underway here in the 2nd quarter. Falcons lead it 8-0. A safety and a touchdown. The extra point no good. And now it's Krieger. And Krieger bounces off a tackler and into the end zone. Krieger with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And it is now 14-0 Falcons awaiting the extra point. Seth Howard on the hold. Cade Henry in for the extra point. Henry pulled the last extra point. See how he does here. Not much wind to speak of here this afternoon. This extra point is good. So with 14 minutes and 22 seconds left to play in the first half, it is 15-0 in favor of the Falcons. So this game, similar to last year's game, in that the Falcons led 17-0 in that game, and now this year here in Elmhurst, they lead 15-0. Again, the Blue Jays out of that CCIW conference, and many people feel that North Central College will highly favored to repeat as conference champions. Of course, North Central getting all the way to the national championship game last year, falling to Mary Hardin Baylor. 57-24 was the final in Canton, Ohio. And the Cardinals have a new head coach, Brad Spencer, this season. This is going to be a touchback. Last year's head coach for North Central, Jeff Thorne, is now on the Western Michigan University coaching staff. So Brad Spencer is now the head coach of the Cardinals. Of course, the Thunder of Wheaton will be there as well. And by the way, if you're wondering, Wheaton will be at North Central on October 1st. That's a 6 o'clock game at Benedetti Worley Stadium. That game could decide the CCIW. Wash U, a very good team also in the CCIW. I've always said the CCIW, one of the toughest conferences among Division III in the country, but I got to tell you, this Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference is also very, very tough. Teams like Whitewater and La Crosse, Oshkosh, Platteville, Stout, Eau Claire, and Stevens Point. Boy, Whitewater, how about Whitewater? They made it all the way to the semifinals of the National Division III tournament last year, falling short to Mary Hardin Baylor. Whitewater has won the conference 13 of the last 16 years. And they are favored again to win the conference this year. There's officials timeout. The Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, University of Wisconsin La Crosse, also picked to finish second in the conference. These River Falls Falcons favored to come in third in the conference. Mentioned the Blue Jays with a 1 victory last year. These Falcons finished 9-2. And if you're wondering how they got to the 11 wins last year, the Falcons participated in the very first Isthmus Bowl, which was held in Wisconsin, which pins the best team from the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference against the best team from the CCIW, teams that did not make the national tournament. So River Falls defeated Wash U last year in the inaugural Isthmus Bowl, 48-27. River Falls defeated Wash U in that game. What's interesting in that game is that the Falcons had 44 first downs in that game. Now, you do the math, there's 60 minutes in a game, and the Falcons had 44 first downs in that Isthmus Bowl against Wash U. I mean, that's just amazing. that's just a high-octane offense, and it's on display here this afternoon. By the way, the second annual Isthmus Bowl is slated at Ashley Field in Madison, Wisconsin on November 19th, Saturday, November 19th. So, again, that will pin the top teams that do not make the national tournament from the CCIW and from the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Now, my personal opinion is last year the inaugural game was held in Wisconsin. So this year, I think it should be held in the state of Illinois. I think they should kind of switch where that bowl is being played, but for the second year in a row, it will be held in Wisconsin. Again, November 19th, the second annual Isthmus Bowl, and I think that's a great idea. 1st and 10 here for the Blue Jays. Buck back to work across the middle, and that one is incomplete. Gabe Holtke was the intended target on the seam route. 14 minutes and 17 seconds remaining here in this first half. Boy, I tell you what, great to be back up here in the press box and bringing you Blue Jay football. The gang is all here, Bruce, Ralph, and Dennis, and doing a great job up here in the booth. I tell you, those guys, they are veterans as this ball is handed off to Julian Cavallo, and Cavallo breaks it open and gets to the outside. Nice gain for Cavallo, and he's had some nice runs here this afternoon.
34. 29, he stepped out.
But those guys, I tell you, year after year, they just seem to be getting younger looking and younger looking up here in the press box. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know. Kevin Jude must be feeding them pretty well, because I got to get their secret. They're looking great, and it's great to see those guys up here. Whoa, we got some movement. There come the flags. Pass intended here to the near side. Winston Brown was the intended target. And with him, stride for stride, was Michael Brown.
Defense, number 47, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So another penalty for the Falcons. This time it's going to be on Cabe Schmidt.
47,
the 6-foot linebacker from Motley, Minnesota, guilty of the infraction. Ball goes to the 34. It's 3rd down and 1 yard now for Connor Buck and the Blue Jays. Boy, it'd be nice to pick up a 1st down, get some confidence, get this offense rolling here a bit. 13:34 left to play here in the second quarter. Buck on the quick hit. Oh, the pass. Max McCarville. Boy, one of those things where he may have took his eye off the ball looking ahead. Boy, coming up was Aaron Borgerding, who was coming up to make the hit. And now 4th down, decision time. Coach McDonald, and he's going to bring in his punting unit.
Punting unit on the field.
Remember, the special teams unit for the Falcons, they had the fake and they converted. And right now, it looks like it's going to be a punt for the Blue Jays. Ryan Brenner in, high snap. Brenner does get it off. Boy, it's a high booming punt, and it's fair caught at the 36-yard line by Michael Brown. And so the Blue Jay defense coming back out to work for the Blue Jays. Jim Phelps, Keith Woodson, the 2 defensive coaches. Blue Jay defense not playing too bad, but they have been out there for most of this first half. Be interesting to see the time of possession stats at halftime. 1st and 10 Falcons from their own 36-yard line. Blahan, his pass is incomplete. Off the fingertips of Tanner Canfield. Sophomore wide receiver, 2nd down and 10. The Blue Jays in their home Columbia blue jerseys, the navy blue pants and numbers, navy blue helmets. Falcons, they're traveling white jerseys with the red numbers, and that one is also incomplete. Intended receiver was Aaron Childers, the 6'5 senior from Tempe, Arizona, so now it's going to be 3rd and 10. So let's see if the Blue Jay defense can get a 3 and out here and get back on the sidelines. Third down and 10. Blaha with some time across the middle. That one is incomplete. TJ Little was the intended target. But it looked like Charles Scott may have gotten a hand on it.
Punting unit on the field.
Punting unit coming on now for the Falcons. And back deep, Trey Stabline for the Blue Jays.
For Elmhurst.
Also back for Elmhurst is Quinton Perry, number 14. So nice job defensively for the Blue Jays, 3 and out. And let's hope the Blue Jay offense can get some pretty good field position here as this takes a Falcon roll, and it's going to go out of bounds inside the 20, down at the 17-yard line.
Clock is at 13:03.
Connor Buck and the Blue Jay offense back out. The Blue Jays, they will be off next week. They will have 2 weeks to prepare for the Augustana Vikings. The conference opener will be 2 weeks from today here at Langhorst Field, and we will bring that one to you, 1 o'clock kickoff. Augustana also does not play next week, so Augie and Elmhurst both will have 2 weeks to prepare for one another. 2 weeks from today. CCIW conference opener, Elmhurst and Augustana. Buck out of the gun to the far side. Max McCarville,
Far side.
the intended target.
Correction.
A little bit low. 2nd and 10. Next week, non-conference games from the CCIW. Wash U will be hosting Hendricks. North Central traveling to Wabash. Ohio Wesleyan at Illinois Wesleyan. Wheaton is at Trinity, Texas. And Carroll is at Wisconsin Lutheran. That's next week.
Cavallo, the ball carrier.
Cavallo gets the ball, and he will be short of the 20-yard line.
Johnson, the tackle.
Spotted at the 19. Caleb Johnson was there to make the stop for the Falcons. Third down and call it 8. And it's tough for an offense if you're constantly facing third down in long situations. Buck now, nobody behind him, facing 3rd and 8. Plants, throws underneath, pass is complete, and he is just whipped out of bounds. Short of the first down. Gabe Holtke, the 5'6" junior from Pekin, Illinois, making the catch, but it's just a 3-yard catch, and the punting unit coming out once again. So Ryan Brenner comes out to punt.
Brenner to kick it away.
Again, last year in this game, the Blue Jays punted 12 times. Brenner has been a busy man here in this first half. 11 minutes and 40 seconds remaining as the Blue Jay offense stymied once again. Brenner, another pretty good punt. It's going to bounce at the 50-yard line, take a Falcon bounce, and it's going to come back into Blue Jay territory at the 45-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 Falcons from the Blue Jay 45-yard line. Mentioned the head coach of the Blue Jays, Coach Jeff McDonald, now in his 4th year. His lovely wife, Rebecca, and their daughter, Olivia. Coach McDonald wanted to say hello to his parents, Craig and Kathy, and the rest of his family who are watching and logged on as that pass is complete there.
Pass complete. Brenner with the catch.
Boy, a big guy there. That's number 89, Zach Trineri, the tight end, 6'3", 239-pounder. But anyway, Coach McDonald's mom and dad, Craig and Kathy, logged on and watching from the Sunshine State. Michael Krieger with the catch, and it's going to be a loss. So we hope that Coach McDonald's parents, Craig and Kathy, are in an air-conditioned room
1 on that play.
Nice cold drink and enjoying Blue Jay football here on BlueJayTV.com. Mom and Dad, your son is doing a great job here as the head coach of the Blue Jays. That one should be an incomplete pass, and it is. Full transparency. There's another look. I spent a lot of time down in Southwest Florida, Fort Myers, Bonita Springs, Naples area. Coach McDonald, by the way, picking up his bachelor's degree, a 95 graduate from the University of South Florida. To the air, Blaha. Flag is down, far sideline. Pass is incomplete. Andy Grebner with the intended target. See what the penalty flag is all about.
Offside defense, number 33. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Offside.
Man Lowry guilty of the offside infraction. By the way, I didn't mention the offensive line. Alex Klecker, the left tackle, probably the best player on the team according to head coach Matt Walker. Left guard is Justin Parasat. Austin Fox, the starting center, and on the right side, Charlie Corbine, the right guard, and the right tackle, Ethan Sigler. This one is incomplete. Luke Cush was the intended target. Boy, Cush, good size, 6'6", sophomore, and that one incomplete. Second down and 10 Falcons from the 35-yard line. 10:24 to play here in the first half. Setting up a screen here to Krieger, waiting for some blocks, and he will get tackled near the 30-yard line. Tackled on the play that time by Eric Thames.
4 on the play.
4-yard pickup for Krieger on the screen. Third down and 6 coming up on the 10-minute mark. Blaha carrying himself, and he'll get brought down. Nice tackle on the play by the Blue Jays. That's number 44. That's Cesar Bermudez. Sophomore from Bensonville. Went to Fenton High School. Fourth and less than a yard. It's Krieger, the ball carrier. He will get the first down. Close to the 20-yard line. They'll spot it at about the 21. 6-yard pickup. Scott on the tackle. And the Falcons will move the chains here. 9.5 minutes left. Blaha looking into the end zone. The feet got tangled up. There's the flag. And it's going to be interference, and the Falcons are going to be in business here. You see the feet getting tangled up there in the close to the end zone there. Cush, Mason Van Zeelen.
Both by the defense. Offsides, defense, that penalty is declined. Pass interference, defense, number 29. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
29, accepted.
So that's Eric Thames. That penalty, the pass interference, obviously is the penalty that is accepted. And so the Falcons leading 15-0, threatening here again. Ball goes all the way down to the 6-yard line. Blaha working out of the gun. Nobody behind him. Krieger is split out to the lower right-hand part of your monitor. And now what's happening here? Maybe
officials timeout.
We've got an officials timeout here. Coach McDonald, of course, hiring Zach Shaw. Tony Schiffman was named the new offensive line coach for the Blue Jays this year as well. Blue Jays had a couple of scrimmage games. They scrimmaged against Concordia Chicago, and they scrimmaged against Wisconsin Lutheran. And Coach McDonald telling me that he was very impressed. This is a reverse here to Krieger. Krieger's going to get some blocking, cut inside, and he will have the touchdown. 6-yard run for Michael Krieger, his third touchdown of the afternoon. And it is now 21-0 in favor of River Falls.
6-yard run, end of play, confirming touchdown.
So coming in now for the extra point, Cade Henry. Seth Howard on the hold.
Kick is up.
Good hold by Howard, and the extra point by Henry is good. So Henry 2 of 3 on extra points in the game, and it's 22-0 now in favor of the Falcons.
Why is that flat? Oh, I guess I have to put touchdown.
See if the Blue Jays can get the offense clicking. Maybe not necessarily a touchdown, but boy, just getting a couple of first downs strung together and getting some confidence and moving the ball a little bit. Julian Cavallo has had some nice runs in this game so far today.
Aiden Pollock back deep for Elmhurst.
Aiden Pollock is back deep for the Blue Jays.
Kick it away for the Falcons.
Dawson Kriske will kick it away here for the Falcons. Low line drive kick. Takes a high bounce, and it's taken into the end zone. Pollock on the spin move coming out of the end zone, and he will get hit before the 10-yard line, right about the 8-yard line. Here's another look at it. Good special teams coverage by the Falcons, as you see Pollock spin right there and just get nailed at about the 8-yard line. Looked like that was TJ Little coming up with the tackle. So back out to work goes Connor Buck in the Blue Jays here with 9 minutes and 11 seconds to play here in this first half. Blue Jays this season, all of their games will start at 1 o'clock in the afternoon except for one, and that will be against the Carroll Pioneers here at Langhorse Field. That will be a 6 o'clock p.m. kickoff against Carroll. That will be on October 15th. Blue Jays run the ball. Pollock the ball carrier for the Blue Jays.
Schumacher with the tackle.
Andrew Schumacher, the outside linebacker, was there to make the tackle. Loss of a yard. Check that 1-yard gain. Second down and long for Buck. He comes here to the near side. Winston Brown couldn't quite get there. He had a step on Michael Brown, but the pass was just a little bit in front of Winston. Here's another look. Winston, you see, has the step. Boy, he had him open. That would have been a touchdown if that ball was a little ahead of Winston. A little back. Third and long now, 3rd and 10, 8:33 to go. Winston had 43 catches a year ago for the Blue Jays, and he looks to be the main target this season for Elmhurst. They go underneath the catch, and what a tackle by Caleb Johnson. Johnson was all over that one. We got two really good middle linebackers playing today. Caleb Johnson, Bryce Gable. Gable ranked in the top 15 linebackers among Division III players. So Brenner back out. Brenner has been a busy man here today. Michael Brown standing at the 39-yard line of Elmhurst. So the Falcons figures to have very good field position here. Do you see the numbers at the bottom of your monitor? We are under the, a high snap. Brenner does a great job of just bringing it down and getting the punt under, getting it off. Brown on the return as he brings it inside the 20, and the Falcons are going to have excellent field position at the start of this possession. And we've got an injured player, Hayden Beck, the captain, the grad student from Paw Paw, Michigan, is down. And there is a penalty marker down as well. A lot happening on that play. First off, though, great job by Ryan Brenner off the high snap. Pretty much one-handedly brought it down. And that took an extra second or so. And so he just had to didn't even take a step. Just brought it down and punted it. And Hayden is up under his own power. That is good to see, as he is walking off under his own power, and we certainly hope that Hayden Beck is back out there on the field.
During the kick, personal foul, illegal blindside block, return team, number 45. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. First down, Wisconsin, River Falls.
So a legal block there by Caleb Johnson. You may have heard Jeremy Mancia, the referee. So the personal foul, that kind of negates the nice return off that punt by Michael Brown, who was inside the 20. And now after the personal foul penalty, it goes all the way back to the 45.
Timeout, Wisconsin, River Falls. Their first of the half.
Clock at 7:38, timeout.
Wisconsin River Falls calling the timeout here. So that is their first timeout. They have 2 timeouts remaining. The Blue Jays, all 3 of their timeouts remaining here with 7 minutes and 38 seconds to go. Coming up at halftime, we will have the Elmhurst Cheer Squad performing, so stick around for that. Our next Blue Jay event here on BlueJayTV.com, Tuesday night, we will be inside the beautifully newly renovated R.A. Fagnall Hall for Blue Jay Volleyball, as they will take on the University of Wisconsin Whitewater out of the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. 7 o'clock is the first serve Tuesday night, and boy, it is going to be awful strange looking across the court and not seeing head coach Julie Hall as the head coach of the volleyball team. That one is incomplete. Andy Grebner, it looked like Grebner had it, bobbled it a little bit, and ultimately dropped it. Here's another look at it here. You see Grebner there. There's the tail end of it, and it looked like Chris Reeves knocked it down, knocked it away. So great defensive play by Chris Reeves. So again, congratulations to Coach Julie Hall on her retirement after 28 years as the head volleyball coach. Cameron Andrew becomes the new head coach of the Blue Jay volleyball team, and we will see him and the volleyball team Tuesday night at R.A. Fagnall Hall. Tim Owen, by the way, the ball carrier there. He's a couple yards short. Fake the run, they throw it, and it is going to be complete. And it's going to be a first down for River Falls.
With the tackle.
Tanner Canfield with the reception, and another first down for River Falls. We are under 7 minutes remaining. Pass is complete on the far sideline to number 88, Ron Beauchamp, and he is in for the touchdown. Ron Beauchamp, the freshman wide receiver, with the catch and run and a touchdown, and it is now 28-0. Awaiting the extra point here. Just a quick hit from Blaha to Beauchamp on the far sideline, and after the catch, Ron just put it in a different gear and sprinted down the sideline for the touchdown. Looks like we've got an injured Blue Jay down on the far sideline. He's on the Falcons sideline down there. With 6 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in this one. First score of this game was a safety, as Connor Buck, the quarterback, trying to pass out of his own end zone and really just got surrounded by Falcon defenders. It was 2-0. in favor of the Falcons, and that looks like that's Jake Masco, the linebacker. He is a senior, 5'9" senior from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and he comes off under his own power. A couple moments ago, we saw Hayden Beck come off the field for the Blue Jays, and now it's Jake Masco coming off, and under his own power, he looks to be okay.
Cade Henry to attempt.
And so now in for the extra point will be Cade Henry. Seth Howard on the hold here. And once again, we are certainly delighted as that extra point is no good. No good by Cade Henry. So he pulled an extra point earlier to the left, and now this time he pushes it to the right. So his extra points kind of going all over the place. Sort of like my 7-iron. But nevertheless, the score remains 28-0 in favor of the Falcons with 6:45 remaining. Men's soccer team, Elmhurst University, coming away with a 3-1 victory on Thursday over Benedictine University. Soccer team will be at Grinnell College today. Blue Jay women's soccer team coming up short in its season opener, losing to Dominican University 6-0. The women's soccer team at Alma College today.
Kick in the air.
High kick. This one will be returned. Cavallo from the 5-yard line stays on his feet, gets across the 20, across the 25. Boy, what a nice job by Cavallo, who looked like he was brought down, but he actually landed on the Falcon player. Watch this. There, his knees never touched the field, and so he just kept going. Finally brought down by Dylan Brown. So good job by Julian Cavallo getting the extra yards, and the Blue Jays 1st and 10 now from their own 26-yard line. Buck's going to hand it off to Cavallo off of left tackle, and boy, not much there. May have lost a yard. To the 25, 2nd and 11. Hayden Beck back into the game. Good to see him. Big number 88. Of course, the Blue Jays have had a number of big tight ends in the past. Remember Ben Friedrich? Good sized tight end as well. Hayden Beck in the slot here to the near side. See if they can get him the ball. He crosses the middle. Buck looking for him, and Buck loses the ball. Fumble, Buck. It looked like it was number 55 on the sack. Carson Steen with the pressure. Or check that, that's Corey Maloney.
Courtney with the fumble recovery.
Courtney with the fumble recovery, but give credit to Corey Maloney, the freshman linebacker, applying the pressure, and Buck coughing it up. So now River Falls on the turnover. They're going to start this drive in the red zone.
What's going on here? Why is none of that?
Ball at the 18-yard line. 1st and 10 here for the Falcons. Looking to add to their 28-0 lead here. Blaha here to the near side. Pass is complete by Cush. Forced out of bounds by Colton Kraus. Cush from Fort Ripley, Minnesota. Again, a lot of these players from the state of Minnesota. Corbijn out of Farmington, the right guard. Spinning is Blaha. Blaha down to the 5. Pick up 6, 5:33 remaining. The right tackle, Ethan Sigler, is from Cottage Grove, Minnesota. Brody McKnight, the tight end from Inver Grove Heights, Minnesota. Grebner from Andover, Minnesota.
Illegal substitution defense. 12 men on the field. That penalties decline. The result of the play is a first down.
So the first down by Blaha, the 12-man on the field penalty against the Blue Jays. The Falcons just decline it, and it's going to be first and goal.
Got it. First and goal from the 5.
First and goal, Falcons at the 5-yard line. Krieger with 3 touchdowns already today. He has the ball, bounces off a tackle, gets down to about the 2.
We got him here. They're 13.
Bryce Gable with the tackle there for the Blue Jays. Second and goal. Call it a long yard here. Blaha on the clap. Quarterback keeper straight up the middle. Blaha dives into the end zone for the touchdown. 1-yard touchdown run by the 6'2 sophomore quarterback, Caleb Blaha.
Block 504.
Comes with 5 minutes and 4 seconds remaining here in this first half. Again, Howard on the hold. Henry with the extra point attempt here for the Falcons, and this time for Henry, and this time he pulls it. So the last extra point was wide to the right. This extra point wide to the left. Second time today that he has been wide to the left. Score remains 34-0. Again, getting back to this conference that River Falls is from, Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. It is such a loaded conference. So talented with the teams. I mentioned Whitewater a year ago, finished 13-1, made it to the semis. They won the conference. I mentioned earlier, Whitewater, the defending league champions and winners 13 of the last 16 conference championships, and Whitewater favored once again to win
Dustin Kriske ready to kick it away for
the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference again this season.
Line drive.
This is a low line drive. Cavallo lets this one go into the end zone, where it will be a touchback for Elmhurst University. Again, we mentioned the Blue Jays with the 2 scrimmages, and Coach McDonald awful impressed with the starters. The starters played in the first half of both of those scrimmages, and the Blue Jays won the first half of both of those games by a combined 45-7. The defense allowed just 1 touchdown in the 4 quarters that the starters played.
First and 10 from their 25.
But they are running into the 18th ranked team in the country. And that pass complete to Winston Brown, who sheds a tackle and gets brought down close to the 40-yard line.
Johnson with the tackle.
Conrad Ging lost his hat, sophomore defensive back. But it's going to be a first down. They are spotting it at the 40-yard line. So there you go. Let's see if the Blue Jays can pick up a couple of first downs here as we are under the 5-minute mark of this first half. Buck with some time now. The pocket collapses and he goes down.
Buck brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
It looked like he was going to throw right there, but he pulled it back. And as soon as he did that, forget about it. The pocket just collapsed, and he goes down at the 34. Loss of 6. And so it'll be second down and 16. Blue Jays a year ago averaged 49 rushing yards per game and 134 passing yards per contest. Buck again under pressure. His pass is picked off, but there is a penalty marker down. Drew Hahn with the pick. The 6'1 junior from Elburn, Illinois.
Holding offense, number 78. That penalty is declined. First down, Wisconsin for the call.
90 returned, then who tackled?
Well, Javon Manuel with the holding call for the Blue Jays, and obviously The Falcons have declined it, and the pick holds.
33.
The pick by Drew Hahn.
Spot is where? 17.
34-0 in favor of the Falcons, and they're looking for more. Again, and a timeout taken here by the Blue Jays as Elmhurst takes its first timeout of the half. So they will have 2 more.
On 17. Maybe it was 70. I think that 7-0.
Mentioned the 2 Blue Jay soccer teams. Want to give a shout out to the 2 Blue Jay cross country teams as they hosted the Early Bird Invitational yesterday here at Elmhurst University. And for the women's cross country team, there were 8 teams involved, and the Blue Jays women's team finished second as a team out of 8. So congratulations to the women's team. The men's cross country team, out of the 9 teams that competed, the Blue Jays cross country team finished 4th out of those 9 teams. So congratulations to the 2 cross country teams in their own Early Bird Invitational held yesterday here at Elmhurst University. Once again, glad that we are a part of your Labor Day weekend here on BlueJayTV.com. Season opener, Blue Jay football, under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Blaha, nowhere to go, moves his way up forward, but it's going to be a loss of a couple on the play. We take another look at it here. Justin Samuels, number 48, the 5'11 junior from Lincoln Park, with the tackle. Ball is at the 18-yard line, 2nd down and 11. Falcons with 3 wide receivers to the top of your monitor. And Blaha is going to keep it and run up the middle. Breaks 1 tackle as he gets inside the 15-yard line, brought down at the 13 for a pickup of 5.
Fitzgerald, the bottom of the pile for Elmhurst.
J.P. Fitzgerald, the Mattia Valley Mustang graduate, actually officially a pickup of 6 for Caleb. Fitzgerald, 6'1 sophomore. 3rd down and 5 yards to go. They set up the little screen to Tim Owen.
Pass complete to Owen.
As he was the motion man, they see him going in motion. They're going to screen it out to him.
First down on that.
And he will pick up the first down. And
First down at the 8.
ball is at the 8, so 1st and goal here for Blaha and the Falcons. Into the corner, wide open, incomplete. Pass intended for Tanner Canfield, as he was wide open there in the corner. Blaha just missed him.
Intended for Canfield.
I'll check that there is a new quarterback. That's Seth Howard. So Seth Howard in at quarterback, replacing Blaha. Howard bobbling the ball, going to hand it off to Owen.
Owen, the ball carrier.
Colton Kraus was there to make the tackle, number 18 for the Blue Jays. So Seth Howard in at quarterback, replacing Blaha. We'll see how the Falcons play it in the second half. Blaha's day may be over with. Howard stays on his feet, and now a host of Blue Jay defenders coming up to make the stop as we are under the 2-minute mark of this first half, 34-0.
Where are they spotting?
And another timeout against, for who? Falcons take the timeout, so that's the second timeout of the half for the Falcons. They will have 1 more remaining. The Blue Jays took 1 timeout. Blue Jays with 2 timeouts remaining here in this first half. By the way, we should mention one of the Falcons players that was on the team last year, the big tight end, Ben Bizey. He was an All-American tight end for the Falcons. He was signed as an undrafted free agent with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of the National Football League. He was on the 90-man preseason roster, went through a couple of camps, but unfortunately Tampa Bay waived him back on August 15th. So hopefully Ben Bizey can get picked up by another NFL team, or perhaps playing in another league, perhaps the Canadian Football League. But Ben Bizey, the All-American from last year, that pass is complete into the end zone. Luke Kush with the touchdown catch from Seth Howard. Comes with 1 minute and 48 seconds to play. There's Howard off his back foot. Found Kush deep into the end zone, the crossing route, and Kush with the touchdown catch. Kush had 2 touchdown catches last year. Comes up with 1 here in the season opener.
All right, wide left or wide right?
So now it's Howard in to hold. Henry's extra point. This one is blocked. And
With the block on the extra point.
here's another look at it here. Let's see who gets credit for the block here. Boy, Cade Henry, the extra point man, he's had a couple to the left. He's had one to the right. Now he's had one blocked. It's been a rough afternoon for the extra point, but well, that makes it now 40-0. Quentin Perry back deep along with Gabe Holke.
Cavallo back deep.
Also Julian Cavallo is the deep man for the Blue Jays. If you look at the season for the Blue Jays, their first 2 games are here at home. Of course, this one this afternoon, they've got the Augustana Vikings in 2 weeks here at Langhorse Field at 1 o'clock. And this is going to be the return by Perry. And Perry across the 30 to the 31-yard line, tackled on the play by Dylan Brown. So a nice return that time by Quentin Perry.
With the tackle.
And so the Blue Jays will have very good field position here at their own 31 with 1:40 to play. The 3rd game of the season for the Blue Jays, they're at Benedetti Worley Stadium to take on North Central. Their 2nd road game is at Wheaton, so how about that? Their first 2 road games are against North Central and Wheaton. 2 nationally ranked opponents, man. On the road against Milliken and North Park as well. The 4 road games for the Blue Jays this season. Again, out of the gun, it's Buck, and this time it's picked off again.
By Rosen.
Picked off by Calvin Rosine.
By who was that?
Calvin Rosine, number 4 from Clear Lake, Wisconsin. The 6'2 senior comes up with the interception, and
Penalty flag on the play.
a penalty marker is down. And Connor Buck, he has not looked confident back in the pocket. Give a lot
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 72 of Elmhurst. That penalty is half the distance of the goal, first down. That's number 72's first unsportsmanlike conduct towards disqualification.
To the 22, and then we're going to walk.
So that's going to be on the freshman. That's Caden Cornell with the unsportsmanlike. And this one is going to be brought to the, 12.5-yard line?
So we have unsportsmanlike.
And so now the Falcons already leading 40-0. There's just 1:32 left. The backup quarterback, Seth Howard. TJ Little is in the backfield. He's behind Howard.
We're moving it forward because it should be the 11.
All right, they're moving it to the 11-yard line now. So 1st and 10. Again, the Falcons starting in the red zone once again. Howard drops, looking into the end zone, and Beauchamp with the reception, touchdown. Ron Beauchamp with the catch, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And boy, that was a nice thrown ball that time by Seth Howard. Howard is a 6'2" senior from Oskaloosa, Iowa. His second touchdown pass to Ron Beauchamp, the 6'3" freshman. So the senior to the freshman. And now Cade Henry in for the extra point. And this one right down the middle. And Cade Henry with a sigh of relief as he comes off the field, finally saying, I know I can get it through the two uprights.
Cavallo, Harry, and Holtke back deep. Harry in the middle for Elmhurst. Kriske to kick it away.
So again, it'll be Dawson Kriske to kick it away here for the Falcons here. It has been all Falcons here in this first half, and this one is going to be a touchback as the line drive kick bounces in the end zone. The Blue Jays will take over, and it'll be Connor Buck coming out here for the Blue Jays. A 6'5" junior quarterback transferring in from Aurora University, went to Caneland High School. Has thrown a couple of picks here in this second quarter, and see if the offense can put something together here. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Going to hand it off here to Cavallo. Julian cuts it back, breaks a couple of tackles, comes here to the near side, now cuts it back to the middle, and he will get brought down at the 45-yard line. 20-yard pickup by Cavallo.
And Brown.
And Julian has had, as I mentioned earlier, has had a couple of nice runs in this first half. This one the best, 20-yarder. See him cut it back, breaking a couple of tackles, switching the ball to his left hand, and finally getting brought down by Michael Brown. Blue Jays 1st and 10, under a minute remaining here in this first half from their own 45-yard line. Buck, straight drop, under some pressure, and now he gets sacked. As he loses the ball, it was number 48 with the hit, Kenny Fesenmayer, causing the fumble. So Fesenmayer will get credit for the sack, and Buck turning the ball over, and it'll be the Falcons at the Blue Jay 40-yard line. Boy, this has been a disastrous second quarter for the Blue Jay offense. 44 seconds to play here in this first half. It's 47-0 in favor of the Falcons. Seth Howard out of the gun. Howard on the quarterback keeper, straight up the middle. He'll get tackled by J.P. Fitzgerald, but not before Howard picks up 5. Ooh, is that Gable that's down? Oh, no, that's Jake Masco, number 11. And he is down, and it looks to be cramping up here. Mentioned the game time temperature of 87 degrees, and I'm sure on that field it's a lot warmer than that, so quite honestly, I'm surprised we haven't seen more of this, what appears to be a cramp by Jake Masco.
Therefore, the game, correction.
So Coach McDonald and the coaching staff, I'm sure in the locker room, just going to have to really forget about the first half and just come out and play solid football here in the second half and just concentrate on what you need to do. Concentrate as a team to get better. And just try to execute and not commit any mental mistakes. Physical mistakes are going to happen, but cut down on the mental errors and try to play well heading into that Augustana game, which will be 2 weeks from today here at Langhorse Field. Again, the Blue Jays are off next weekend. Mentioned other non-conference games today from the CCIW. You've got Augustana is at home today in Rock Island taking on Rhodes. Carthage is at Albion. Greenville down in Decatur to taking on Milliken. And then the North Park Vikings at home today against Manchester in a non-conference battle. So Jake coming off under his own power, and yeah, that's got to be a cramp. You see him limping, and hopefully he'll come out of that okay. So the Blue Jay training staff will work on Jake here on the sideline, and we are back in action. Howard drops the ball, and it's TJ Little that just covers up back at the 41-yard line, and that should be it for the first half, as both teams will head to their respective halftime quarters as we have come to the end of the first half here from Langhorst Field here on the campus of Elmhurst University. And it's been all Falcons from the University of Wisconsin River Falls as they lead it here at the break by a score of 47-0 over the Blue Jays of Elmhurst University. And now the Elmhurst University cheerleading squad making their way out onto the field. And we will hear from them shortly, and then we'll take a break and we'll come back with first half statistics. So let's enjoy here the Elmhurst University cheerleading squad. Cheerleading squad.
Ladies and gentlemen, at halftime today, we're pleased to welcome the Elmhurst University cheerleaders. A little technical difficulty. We'll be with you in a second.
Tell them we're ready. We'll try one more time.
Ready?
For nearly 150 years, Elmhurst College prepared students for lives of meaning and success. Today, as Elmhurst University, we're carrying on that proud legacy. A beautiful campus just 30 minutes from downtown Chicago. Small classes where you'll get to know your professors. And top-ranked majors and graduate programs that will open the door to the career of your dreams. As we celebrate a new name for our institution in an ever-changing world, our values and spirit remain the same. Welcome to Elmhurst University.
You just might end up making the world a better place. But first, you have to discover who you are and what you can learn from others. To do that, you have to seek out teachers and mentors who will help you identify your goals and challenge you to go after them. Before you can do that, you have to find a community that welcomes and supports you. A place where you can learn. A place where you can thrive. Before you can do that, you must have motivation and desire to improve your mind, your soul, your circumstances. To ignite that desire, you must find your potential. We'll help you discover your potential once you discover us. Elmhurst University.
We know that going to college is a huge investment. You put your trust and time in Elmhurst University, and we do the same. You invest in us, and we invest in you.
Your story begins as we welcome you to Elmhurst University. From your first day of orientation, our focus is getting you acclimated to college life and making you a part of the Elmhurst community.
Definitely Elmhurst was the one that I fell in love with. Right when you stepped on campus, it was a nice environment. It just felt like home.
The goal of first year seminar is to make the transition from high school to college as smooth as possible. It's an instantaneous way to have a niche at Elmhurst.
A lot of times there's that doubt that I don't know if I can make it here. I don't know if I'm meant to be here. I feel it is our role as an institution to get those doubts out of their mind the second they are on this campus.
Once you've started classes, our responsibility is to support you both personally and academically.
Your faculty and your staff who are here and committed to your success are going to be walking with you on that journey, providing both the challenge and the support for you along that way.
I changed my major about 5 times, and so I really needed someone there to help me through it, help me pick out new classes, to help me make sure that I graduate on time.
So they support us academically, but they're also interested in our lives as a whole individual. For example, when I was applying for the Fulbright, they were more than willing and super supportive.
Along with supporting you, our job is to make sure you challenge yourself in order to make the most of your experience.
When the students, especially in computer science, go out into related fields, they're going to be confronted with adapting to new environments, new technologies, and we try to challenge them in the classroom to adapt, to learn how to learn.
I've had teachers go to me and say, like, I think you'd be interested in research, so they introduced me to some professors, and I've been doing research now for 3 semesters. It taught me a lot about myself, definitely, and about the way I adapt to different situations.
I think we all learn best when we're a little bit scared, a little bit on the edge. I really believe that the things that are beyond the typical, experiencing undergraduate research, studying abroad, having a quality internship, some of those things are going to be most memorable and meaningful and really impactful for them.
As your academic journey at Elmhurst comes to an end, our relationship reaches a crucial point as we launch you into the next phase of your life.
Elmhurst is a liberal arts college that aims at creating educated citizens, and that's not a process that just takes 4 years or 2 years. We're invested in these students. We give our kind of heart and soul to them while they're here, and so we care if they succeed once they leave.
When students go on to graduate and go on to live amazing lives and do things personally and professionally, their fingerprints are still all over this institution in a way that helped us to become a better sense of who we are and who we as an institution want to be in the world.
We don't at Elmhurst tell students what to think, but we try to teach them how to engage with their own values to become better citizens of this country, of this world.
And that makes me proud to be a part of the community of Elmhurst.
I'm confident in our graduates because I know we've prepared them both personally and professionally. We love to see them fly the nest and flourish.
My name is Michael. I'm a senior here. I study special education and I'm a first-generation college student.
My name is Lauren Berryhill. I'm a junior and I'm a music education major.
My name is Sarah Jean Dickey. I am a double major in mathematics and computer science with a minor in Spanish, and I'm a senior.
My name is Randy Morales. I'm a freshman and I'm a psychology major.
I transferred to Elmhurst because I like the small class sizes and I really value that professor-student relationship that I knew that I was going to get here.
When I was looking at other colleges, it just didn't feel like people cared and wanted you there the same way that when you came to Elmhurst. They just really wanted you to be there and to learn and grow, and I felt like I would be comfortable coming here, but also be pushed in so many ways to grow and become better.
I already knew some people who went here, and I'd visit a couple of times just to hang out with them. I just really liked being around them and being here. And the campus itself is absolutely beautiful.
My sister did go to school here as well. I kind of already knew the campus a little bit, knew it was a great school. I'm glad I chose Elmhurst because it was probably the best place for me, and it was the best monetary decision as well.
When I first transferred, I lived in apartments, but now I live in Stanger, and I really couldn't picture it any other way. Like, I love being on campus. There's just something about rolling out of bed and going to class that I love.
I started out in Chick my freshman year here. I moved to Niebuhr halfway through. I lived in Chick my sophomore year as well, and I've been living in an on-campus house on Myrtle for the past 2 years, and I love it there.
I've actually only lived in Cureton Hall all 3 years. I really could stay there my 4th year and be fine.
I love the community that it brought, that you were one room away from your friends, you were eating dinner on campus together almost every night, and just that there were different opportunities within the residence halls.
A day in the life is pretty hectic. Most music ed majors, their classes are in the mornings and then their ensembles are in the afternoon. So I'm pretty much boom, 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 thing to thing to thing.
I'm a morning person, so whether I have class in the morning or not, I like to wake up a little bit on the earlier side.
So I'd wake up at 5:30, practice, eat breakfast quickly, go to my 9 a.m.
Probably have class till around noon, and depending on the day, I'll probably head out to the local middle school to take some time with my students there, go to the library to do some homework, and then I also work at the library.
Get out of class, go home, change, go directly to work.
I'll usually have work later in the afternoon, and then eat dinner, maybe do some more homework, watch a movie.
Get a dinner or some snacks at the Roost, and then head back to my dorm to do some homework and head to bed.
Usually I spend time with my friends at night, and that's when I get to catch up on what's going on.
My favorite place on campus is on the 3rd floor of the education department. It's the best place to study with the best view.
I have 2 favorite places on campus. One is my house, but I also love the conference room in Daniels.
My favorite place would be the cafeteria.
Sitting in Founders, I love to sit at one of those tables and do homework. You can be in there to have fun, you can be in there to study, and the vibe can be whatever you want it to be.
Out of the 4 classes that I took this past semester, my favorite class was acting. The professor was Dr. Tony Noyce. He is such a character. He's so awesome to be around. It was such a fun experience.
And my favorite class was probably linear algebra with Dr. Crawford. It was part theory and part computation, which I really liked how it pulled those 2 concepts together. And Dr. Crawford is just an amazing teacher. I've had her almost every semester since I've been here.
Post-colonial theory with Dr. Janice Lively, and that class had me thinking about it like all day.
Music theory class, which is probably an interesting choice because it was at 8 a.m. every single day my freshman year, both semesters, which no one likes 8 a.m.s in college. My professor, Mr. Streeter, is incredible, and my class became more of a community than anything. It was a really nice way to come into college, and honestly, my best friends came out of that class.
One of my favorite activities is the honors program. I've been involved with it all 4 years that I've been on campus here. I'm also involved in Alpha Phi Omega here on campus. You do a lot of service in the community. You get to build relationships with people in the organization, and you get to do a lot of leadership activities.
I've been involved in lots of student groups on campus, all the choral ensembles, the vocal ensembles, and I loved being in late night blues, vocal jazz. We just had a lot of fun and really bonded with each other. I'm also a member of Phi Mu. It's a really fun way to meet people, but also to give back to others that need it.
My favorite organizations that I've been a part of is definitely the Black Student Union, because I really like what they're doing for the campus overall and the social justice issues that they're pursuing on campus.
I'm pretty much just involved with running. I'm really proud to be a Blue Jay because it's an amazing community. Blue also looks really nice when we're running, so it's awesome.
Love being a student ambassador in the Office of Admissions. It's really great because I get to give tours to all these potential students, whether they're first years or transfers.
I'm a CA for the ELSA students, which basically means that I live in the dorms that they also live in to provide any like extra support that they might need. And I'm really proud to be part of this program, especially because it's like one of the few in the country. And it's awesome because I work with students with disabilities in like classrooms, and they always ask me, oh, can I go to Elmhurst? And like I can say confidently, yes, you can go to Elmhurst.
When I cross the stage at graduation, I'll be most proud of all the research that I've done. I didn't come into college with the intention to do that. I fell in love with the idea of research and the process of doing research.
It's just incredible to look back and think that Elmhurst has done so much for me already, and I think that's what I'll be most proud of, to think just who I've become and who I want to be still.
I think what I would remember most fondly are obviously my friends that I've made.
Making memories with those friends in really interesting places that normally wouldn't be so exciting, but they are, because you love each other and you get to know each other so well.
Between the professors and the friends that I've made, I think that will stay with me the rest of my life.
People who give back to Elmhurst, you're not only helping me, you're helping my family grow as well. Me graduating college and being the first one to graduate means that hopefully others in my family, like my nephews and nieces, can see that and want to come to a school like Elmhurst.
So when you give money to Elmhurst, you're giving these students like the experience of a lifetime and the ability to become who they're meant to be.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to change our lives.
Let the ceremonies begin. Welcome to your richly deserved Elmhurst University Commencement Day.
Defend yourselves. Make yourselves known. Always.
To Langhorst Field here on the campus of Elmhurst University. Halftime of this season opener between the Blue Jays and the Falcons from the University of Wisconsin River Falls, and it's the Falcons leading comfortably here by a score of 47-0. Mark Kruger here at halftime. Glad to be a part of your Labor Day weekend here on BlueJayTV.com. I am here along with the executive producer of Sunrise.tv, Mr. Glenn Liljeberg, and we thank you for letting us be a part of your Labor Day weekend. The first half numbers. The Falcons with 19 first downs in the first half. The Blue Jays with just 3. Total yards of offense in that first half for the Falcons, 313. For the Blue Jays, just 42 total yards of offense. 28 offensive plays for the Blue Jays, 61 offensive plays for the Falcons. 4 penalties for Elmhurst in that first half, 5 penalties for the Falcons. Caleb Blaha, who was replaced by the number 2 quarterback, Howard, in the first half. Blaha was 13 of 22 for 106 yards and 1 touchdown. Connor Buck in that first half, the quarterback for the Blue Jays, was 4 of 12, 2 interceptions. Julian Cavallo running the ball for the Blue Jays. He had 10 carries for 41 yards. Ryan Brenner punted 5 times for the Blue Jays in the first half. He averaged 24 yards per punt. His longest was 35. So the Falcons will punt, or kick it away here, I should say, as the third quarter is underway here from Langhorst Field. Cavallo on the return here as he gets across the 25, breaks the tackle, 35-40, and knocked out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. Another nice return that time by Cavallo, knocked out of bounds by Dylan Brown.
45-yard line.
So we'll see if the offense can get going here. Second year in a row, the offense has been shut out in the first half by the Falcons. Last year, halftime score was 17-7. The Blue Jays got those points by a pick 6 by Bryce Gable. With 1 minute and 9 seconds left in the first half, a 48-yard pick 6 by Gable. It was 17-7 at halftime. And now here, 47-0 to start the third quarter. That pass by Connor Buck is overthrown, intended for Max McCarville, the 5'11 sophomore, and it's second down and 10. Excellent field position here to start this first possession of the third quarter. Remember, the first couple of possessions of the game, the Blue Jays were well inside their own 10-yard line. So now they face second down and 10 from their own 45. Just underway here in the third quarter. Cavallo gets the call.
Cavallo, the ball carrier.
Initially, he was hit by Jake Halsey, and that was held up, and a couple other Falcons came over to finish him up. There's Halsey on the initial stop, and then Kyle Burkhart came over to finally make the stop, the senior from Onalaska, Wisconsin, Kyle Burkhart. Tell you, this defensive line of the Falcons, they applied the pressure big time in that second quarter. Forced Buck into a couple of picks. And Connor was under pressure pretty much the entire quarter. They're coming at him now as he gets flushed out. Now throws, pass, and that one was broken up by number 32. That one was almost picked off by Stetler Harms. 5'10 sophomore from Las Vegas, Nevada. So 3 and out to start the third quarter. And for the 6th time here today, Ryan Brenner will come out to punt for Elmhurst. Michael Brown is back deep for the Falcons. Good punt by Brenner. Brown retreating, and it's fair caught back at the 16-yard line.
At the 16-yard line.
16, fair catch by 22 at the 16.
Nice punt by Brenner.
At the 17. Yeah, let's give it 17. 13-50.
Going to officially spot the ball at the 17-yard line. And the number 2 quarterback still in there. That's Seth Howard I tell you what, the Falcons don't drop off a lot from number 1 to number 2. Both of these quarterbacks, as a flag comes down, very good athletes, good legs, good strong arms. Caleb Blaha and also Seth Howard.
Owen was the ball carrier.
Holding offense, number 62.
Cerrone,
10-yard penalty.
first for the Blue Jays.
Tim Owen's run is negated by that holding penalty by Eric Bark, 6'3" junior.
Correction, the penalty is half the distance from the previous spot. Still first down.
So half the distance. You know, I mentioned earlier the game time temperature of 87 degrees, and I said that pretty conservatively that on the field it was probably over 90. It's got to be probably closer to 100 degrees, I would think, on the field. That ball to the far side is incomplete. Beauchamp was the intended target. Beauchamp with a couple of touchdown catches in that first half. This one incomplete. So only seen pretty much one player, Jake Masco, coming out with a cramp. Hopefully we will not see more of that here in the second half. 2nd and 10 here for the Falcons. They've got 3 wide receivers to the bottom of your monitor. And this one is going to be picked off. 22, Gino Cerrone. 5'11" sophomore from St. Charles East comes up with the pick. So the first interception of the game thrown by the Falcons, and it's thrown by the backup quarterback Seth Howard. As you saw the tail end of it there, you see the pick by Cerrone, went to St. Charles East. Gino has to like the fact that the Saints, off to a 2-0 start, beat Waubonsie Valley last night 10-7. So St. Charles East now 2-0. The new head coach there. So Connor Buck and the Blue Jay offense going back out there as they are 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Pass is complete to Holtke. Holtke shakes one tackle, still trying to get to the line of scrimmage.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
Does not quite get there. It's going to be a loss of a couple. It'll be 2nd and 12. They tried to get the screen to Holtke, set up on the top of your monitor there, and going to ultimately lose a couple.
For the Falcons.
2nd and 12 from the 27. We are 2 minutes into this third quarter. Game dominated by the Falcons. Buck over here to the near side. Winston Brown with the catch. And he is whipped down there by Jay Vang, 5'7" junior defensive back from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And a new quarterback coming in for the Blue Jays, Noah Henkel. And Noah has been the starting quarterback for the Blue Jays the last couple of years. So Connor Buck comes out. Noah Henkel in at quarterback for the Blue Jays with 12:20 to go here in the third quarter. Henkel's going to keep it himself, and he will get brought down back at the 25-yard line by number 37. That's Braden Wolf.
Officials timeout.
6'2" sophomore from Wilson, Wisconsin. And officials timeout. Looks like that's Chris Peterson, the starting left tackle that is holding his left lower leg area. Chris Peterson is a grad student, a big guy, 6'3", 290-pounder from Northlake, Illinois. And he's coming out, limping. Javon Manuel replaces him, the freshman at left tackle. From Katy, Texas. Manuel, a big man as well, 6'3", 290-pounder. So it's 4th down here for the Blue Jays, 9 yards to go. Henkel is going to roll out, and he's going to throw, and pass is complete there to number 83, R.J. Anderson, the tight end. He's in for Hayden Beck, but it's well short. So the ball is going to go over to the Falcons on downs. Brett von Swedler, defensive back, is into the game. He's a grad student, went to East Leiden High School. He's into the game in the secondary for the Blue Jays.
Clock at 11:37.
And we've got the third quarterback of the game. This is Javon Jackson. Check that, I'm sorry. Tyler Schweigert from Cave Creek, Arizona, into the game now. Third quarterback for the Falcons. 6 foot, 6'2", I should say, 195-pound freshman. Cave Creek, Arizona. As the Falcons going to keep it on the ground.
The ball carrier.
Not much room there here to the near sideline, or to the near hash mark, I should say.
Von Schwedler along with Schmidt for the Blue Jays on the stop. Gain of 1.
1 yard pickup. Makes it 3rd down and 9. Rolling out here to the near side is Schweigert. His pass is complete. There to number 8.
Von Schwedler with the tackle. First down yardage for...
First down for the Falcons. Luke Cush with the reception. And it's now 1st and 10, Falcons from their own 36-yard line. 10:49 to go here in the third. Penalty marker down, letting it fly is Schweigert. And that one is incomplete. Jeremy Innes, one of the 4 captains for the Blue Jays, was there on the coverage.
Offsides, defense, number 92. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Chris Swiatek guilty of the infraction, the 6-foot freshman from Leiden. 5-yard walk-off brings it now to the 41-yard line. Schweigert throwing it across the middle, and that one is incomplete. Beauchamp was the intended target. That was 1st and 5, and it is now going to be 2nd down and 5 from the 41. Schweigert's going to hand the ball off, and breaking a couple of tackles, making a nice move that time is Kiko Trejo.
Trejo, the ball carrier.
5'10" freshman from Tucson, Arizona. And he gets into Blue Jay territory. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Boy, a nice run that time by the young freshman. Showing some good quickness, some good lateral movement as well here. 1st and 10 now, Falcons. Mike Price, number 22, is in the backfield. He also is a freshman. Schweigert pass is complete there to number 18, A.J. Morrison, a junior wide receiver. Cottage Grove, Minnesota. Gain of 6
on the play.
All the way to the 34-yard line. Schweigert again with the quick hit to the far side. Again, the pass is complete to A.J. Morrison. But a minimal gain, good ankle tackle that time. 9.5 minutes, ball spotted at the 35-yard line. It'll be 3rd down, 5 yards to go. Schweigert, pass, he has the 1st down. Pass again is complete to A.J. Morrison, and Morrison is going to get tripped up. He did not get in. Colton Krause was knocked out of bounds. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 2. So it's going to be 1st and goal here for the Falcons. A.J. Morrison, the junior wide receiver, boy, he's been the main target here for Tyler Schweigert. Schweigert's going to hand the ball off here to Price.
Touchdown, Falcons.
Mike Price will get in for the touchdown. So the 5'8" freshman from Wilmar, Minnesota gets the touchdown run for the Falcons. Comes with 8 minutes and 51 seconds to play here in this 3rd quarter. And it's now 53-0 as Seth Howard is in for the hold. Cade Henry.
Henry to attempt the extra
To
point.
attempt the extra point. And the extra point again is wide to the left. So I believe that's the third time today that Cade Henry has pulled it. Wide to the left. Score still remains 53-0 in favor of the Falcons. River Falls starts off the season with 2 road games. Of course, today here in Elmhurst, Illinois. Next Saturday, the Falcons will be at St. John's. And then they'll have their season opener 2 weeks from today against Northwestern of Minnesota. That'll be played under the lights 2 weeks from today. That's a 6 o'clock start, their first home game for the Falcons 2 weeks from tonight.
3 Blue Jays back deep. Perry in the middle. Joined by Holtke.
Kriske again here to kick it for the Falcons. 8:51 to play here in the third.
Holtke on the return.
Skies have clouded up quite a bit now, and the return to the 22-yard line. So we'll see if Noah Henkel returns at the quarterback position. He came in for Connor Buck last series. Chance for both quarterbacks to get into some action here today. The Falcons have used 3 different quarterbacks. Well, it is Connor Buck coming back at quarterback. We mentioned earlier, not surprisingly, that Noah Henkel will get into the action. Mentioned Noah, and this is Cavallo.
The ball carrier.
Shakes a couple of would-be tacklers, and he'll get a couple to the 24, pickup of 2.
Fox with the stop.
He has been the starting quarterback, Noah Henkel, the last couple of seasons. And Coach McDonald mentioned that in certain situations, he may bring in Noah Henkel. But to start this series is the starter, Connor Buck, the 6'5" junior. R.J. Anderson in at tight end here for the Blue Jays. Second down, 8 yards to go from the 24. Buck across the middle, and that one incomplete. It was R.J. Anderson, the intended target.
Intended for Anderson.
Hayden Beck in there now as well. So you've got Beck and Anderson, the 2 tight end. Well, now, okay, now Anderson comes out. Third down, 8 yards to go here for the Blue Jays. 7:52 remaining here in the third quarter. Bit of a crosswind picking up just a little bit, coming out of the north, and down goes Buck, back to the 15.
Buck brought down for a loss.
9-yard loss on that play, and it'll bring up now 4th down and long. And once again, Ryan Brenner is going to come in to punt it away. Boy, again, that defensive line of the Falcons, they came in and applied the pressure on Connor. First half, the Falcons were 5 of 11 on third down conversions. The Blue Jays were 0 of 6 in the first half on third down conversions. So we'll take a Blue Jay roll and go out of bounds at the 49-yard line. So that's where the Falcons will go back to work here, leading comfortably here in the season opener. We've got 7 minutes and 1 second remaining here in the third quarter. Again, preseason rankings, these Falcons ranked number 18th in the country, and you can see why. Cardinals of North Central College ranked as high as number 2 in certain publications. And this one, the pitch to TJ Little, and he will lose a bunch. Antonio Carrillo with the tackle for the loss. Ball back at the 44-yard line, 2nd down and 15 after that loss of 5. Well, back in at quarterback now is Seth Howard. Seth Howard came in to replace Caleb Blaha. And then Howard was replaced by Tyler Schweigart in that last offensive possession. And now in this possession, they go back to Seth Howard. Starting quarterback Caleb Blaha has not seen any time here in the second half, in this third quarter. Howard goes straight up the middle to the 45-yard line. It's going to be short. It's going to be 4th down and 4 yards to go.
J.P. Fitzgerald at the bottom.
J.P. Fitzgerald was in to make the stop, and so now it looks like the Falcons may be going for it here. Seth Howard and the offensive unit staying out on the field here as they face a 4th and 4. And now they're going to take a timeout. Looks like the Blue Jays. Yeah, the Blue Jays have taken a timeout. They noticed that the Falcons were going to go for it here on 4th and 4, so they're trying to shore up their defensive scheme. 5 minutes and 45 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. Labor Day weekend here from Langhorst Field. It is clouded up a bit here. Initially, they were talking about perhaps a rain shower or two today, this afternoon, but forget about it. It has been warm. Game time temperature of 87 degrees. And it has got to be, you would think, perhaps in the upper 90s down on the field. Very warm day for the first weekend of September. So after the Blue Jay timeout, Falcons are going to go for it here. They face a 4th down and 4 from the 45. Pass is complete, and boy, it's going to be spotted right at the 41-yard line. The catch there by Kiko Trejo, and that is going to be enough for a first down. They're moving the chains. Boy, nice job running the route there by Trejo, knowing where the first down marker was, and he caught it right at the 41, right where he needed to be to pick up the first. So the drive continues here for the Falcons. Trejo goes in motion. Howard's pass is incomplete. Andy Grebner was the intended target. 6 captains for the Falcons: Alex Klecker, Caleb Blaha, Charlie Corbine, Frank Hartman, Calvin Rosine, and the linebacker Caleb Johnson. 2nd down now and 10 for Seth Howard and the Falcons. Play clock is down to 9. Straight up the middle goes Howard.
Howard, the ball carrier.
And he'll get about 2 as it's marked at the 39-yard line. Under 5 minutes remaining. Officials have done a nice job with this one here today. 3rd down and 8. Howard look left, now rolls out here to the near side, fires, and the pass is complete. Mason Van Zeeland, the 6'4 sophomore, has a first down. Boy, nice job by Seth Howard. Rolled out here to the near side. You see the tail end of that. Colton Krause with the tackle. But a nice catch by Mason Van Zeeland from Kaukauna, Wisconsin, the sophomore. Howard. This time he passes it. Luke Cush, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete, intended for Cush.
Bit low. 2nd and goal from the 5. Just outside the 5. Looks like it's spotted at the 6. 4 minutes and 15 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. Howard going to hand the ball off. Trejo.
Trejo, the ball carrier. Tootie gets credit for the tackle.
29 and what did we say? 24 and 16. At where?
Third and goal this time now from the 4. Howard. Boy, he runs into big number 45. That's Evan Weber. Just a freshman linebacker. Makes the stop. 4th down now for the Falcons with 3.5 left to play here in the third.
All right, now circle 75, 60, 76.
4th and goal here from the 2-yard line. Howard flushes out, throws it into the end zone. Cush the intended target, but it's incomplete. And so the Blue Jays will take it over. Jeremy Ennis, number 2, made a nice play here. Watch it at the end there. Ennis, one of the 4 captains for the Blue Jays, comes over and makes the nice stop, the grad student from De La Salle. So the Blue Jays will take over. It's the good news. The bad news is they take over very, very deep into their own territory, right about their own 2-yard line.
44, 21, 95, 37, 41.
Connor Buck working out of the gun, working out of his end zone. They're going to hand the ball off. Little bit of breathing room.
Pollock, the ball carrier.
Aiden Pollock.
Gain of 1 on the
Freshman picks up a yard. 2nd down and 9. Falcons, they would love to get their 2nd safety of the game. Buck again working out of his own end zone. The pass, this one is complete to Jacob Cockrell, 5'11" freshman. Stockbridge, Georgia comes up with the catch and gives the Blue Jays some breathing room here.
Gain of 6 on the play.
6-yard catch. It's going to bring up 3rd down, 3 yards to go. Buck throwing far side, overthrows Max McCarville.
Intended for McCarville.
It's going to bring up a 4th down, and I would assume Brenner is going to come in to punt again. This is going to be a tough chore again for Ryan Brenner. He's going to be punting very, very deep in his own end zone. Remember, had a nice athletic catch, one-handed catch, and punt from his own end zone earlier in the game.
Renner to kick it away for the Blue Jays.
Under 2 minutes left here, 4th and 3 for the Blue Jays from their own 8. Ennis late getting into the game here. There's the snap, and Brenner does a nice job of getting it off. Michael Brown retreats and lets that one just roll. And it'll finally rest at about the 41 and a half yard line.
41-yard line of River Falls.
So River Falls comes back out, leading comfortably here. 1:47 left to play here in the third.
I don't know what's official.
Again, you want to tune in. Our next Blue Jay event will be Tuesday night. Blue Jay volleyball from R.A. Fagnall Hall, as the women Blue Jays volleyball team will take on University of Wisconsin Whitewater. That will be a 7 o'clock first serve. Running the ball that time is Isaiah Randall. Ball at the 44-yard line, 2-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 8. And back into the game is Schweigert.
Schweigert, the ball carrier.
He'll get to, let's see where they spot it. They're going to spot it at the 49-yard line of Elmhurst.
Penalty on the play.
There is a penalty flag down. Schweigert a yard short of the first down.
Offense, number 84. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
So the holding call against the Falcons will bring it back to their own 34-yard line. Be second down and 18 for the Falcons. They need to get to the Blue Jay 48-yard line, and they will get there on that catch. And it's all the way down to the 40-yard line. Pass is complete to A.J. Morrison.
First down on that catch for the Falcons.
So Schweigert to Morrison picks up a first down all the way to the 41-yard line.
DeVries with credit for that tackle for Elmhurst.
Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Schweigert getting the signals from the sideline, and looks like they're ready for the play here as the play clock is down to 7. Half a minute to go in the quarter. Schweigert handing it off. And getting the call once again is Randall. Isaiah, the 6'1", 200-pound sophomore, rumbles his way forward and gets a first down. That should be the final play of the third quarter here. Well, no. Schweigert is going to no huddle offense, and we'll see if they get a play in here with just 6 seconds to go in the quarter. And they do get another play off. Schweigert steps up, throws far sideline, Beauchamp, and that one is incomplete as the third quarter comes to a close here from Langhorse Field on the campus of Elmhurst University. So at the end of 3, the Falcons lead it by a score of 53-0. We'll take a timeout and come back for the fourth quarter here from Langhorse Field. You are logged on to BlueJayTV.com.
Score still 53-0. Set up period. Yeah, you ever know it?
Welcome back here to Langhorse Field as this fourth quarter is underway, and that pass is complete from Tyler Schweigert to Tanner Canfield, the wide receiver. Nice hook up there, and it's a first down, and they'll move the chains once again here for the Falcons, leading 53-0 over the Blue Jays of Elmhurst University. Season opener for both ball clubs. Back to the running game. This is Trejo, the ball carrier. Antonio Carrillo will get credit for the tackle. Just underway here in this fourth quarter. 3-yard pickup, 2nd and 7 for the Falcons. In the white and into the corner, that one through the hands of Beauchamp. Looking for his third touchdown of the afternoon, but not going to get it. Ron, just a freshman, 6'3", good size, good athlete. Falcons facing now 3rd down and 7. can still pick up a first down before getting it into the end zone here. Schweigart throwing, now pass is complete to the far side to Canfield. Canfield still going, and he's going to be a couple yards short of the first down. Fourth down for the Falcons. Boy, what do they do here? Obviously a number of options here. Can kick a field goal, can go for it here. Leading 53-0. Fourth down. 3 yards to go, and it looks like they're going to go for it here. Schweigart planting, throws into the end zone, and touchdown.
River Falls. That pass caught by Vandenberg.
Dante Vandenberg, the 6'5" senior tight end from Mount Pleasant, Iowa, comes up with the touchdown. Tyler Schweigart held his own in the pocket and did a nice job of waiting and finally finding his target. Cade Henry now for the extra point.
Kick is up.
It has been a tough situation for him in the extra point category, but this time he gets it through the uprights. And the Falcons have hit the 60 mark. About a minute and a half into this fourth quarter. And the Blue Jays will be back at home here, not next week, but 2 weeks from today, as they will take on the Augustana Vikings as they begin CCIW conference play. Other home games, you may want to write these down in case you want to come out in person. October 1st, home against Carthage, 1 o'clock start. October 15th, Carroll, that's a 6 o'clock start here from Langhorst Field. And then you've got Wash U comes to Elmhurst on October 29th. And the final game of the season will be November 12th when the Titans of Illinois Wesleyan come into town. That will be a 1 o'clock kickoff. This kickoff is taken at the goal line by Perry, and another nice return.
Brought down at the 25.
Perry brings it back to the 25-yard line, where he is tackled by Kelson Klin. So a 25-yard return. And it'll be 1st and 10 here for the Blue Jays with 13 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Blue Jays just trying to get on the board. Noah Henkel comes back into the game here for the Blue Jays. Second quarterback used by the Blue Jays here today.
Norman, the ball
Zach
carrier.
Norman, a junior running back, gets the call out of Des Plaines.
Ruiz
went to Maine West. Picked up 3 yards as they spotted at the 28, so 2nd and 7.
Gain of 3 on the play.
Winston Brown in the slot at the top of your monitor. 2nd and 7. Henkel on the option. Is going to pitch to number 32, Zach Norman.
Again, the ball carrier.
Good decision by Henkel.
Spear with the tackle.
As the 34-yard line is where they're going to spot it. Norman with the run, and it's going to be 3rd down and a yard. Of course, if you're the Falcon defense, you want to stop here, get off the field, preserve this shutout. Henkel's going to hand it off, and getting the first down is going to be Norman. Good piece of running there by Zach as he gets across the 35 to the 37, and it is going to be a first down. So hopefully the Blue Jays see if they can string a couple of first downs together here. Just under 12 minutes left in the game. Again, the Blue Jays will start to prepare for Augustana in 2 weeks. Henkel looking here, bit of a pump fake, going deep here to Brown, and it's going to be intercepted. There is a flag down on the play. Mandrell Butler with the interception. We'll see if it stands here, though.
Intercepted by Butler.
2 officials talking things over.
Pass interference, defense number 26. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down. Injury timeout.
So Luke Spear getting the interference call, and it will be a first down. So the Blue Jays will pick up a first down. There is a injured Blue Jay, Larson Lovelace, the starting left guard, 6'1" junior from Champaign, Illinois. He's coming out of the game. But the Blue Jays have been banged up in this game. Various players coming off. But another first down for the Blue Jays as they are into Falcon territory here. Ball at the 48. 1st and 10 for Noah Henkel and the Blue Jays. Henkel hands it off straight up the middle to the 44. Norman, again, a nice power run. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 45-yard line, so we'll pick up a 3. 2nd and 7. A lot of replacements in the Falcon defensive unit, but nevertheless, this will be a good confidence booster for the Blue Jays if they can punch it in here. Norman on the delay, and he's going to get wrapped up from behind there by number 92, Connor Drahos. 6'6" sophomore from Hutchinson, Minnesota. 3-yard pickup. Norman now limping off the field. Julian Cavallo back in. 3rd down and 4 yards to go here for the Blue Jays as we approach the 10-minute mark of this game. Blue Jays trying to avoid getting shut out here in their season opener. Henkel drops back, steps up, throws underneath here to Trey Stabling. Incomplete.
Intended for Stabline.
Defensively, coming up on the play there was Gabe Kinnaman, the 6'2" linebacker, sophomore. So 4th down now, 4 yards to go for Elmhurst. Hayden Beck comes out of the game. J.J. White, freshman wide receiver, into the game, and a bit of confusion here. And now the Blue Jays call a timeout as they are going to regroup, and to be expected with a lot of new faces, new players into the game, trying to get some time. Bit of confusion and a timeout taken so everybody can get on the same page here on a 4th down and 4 situation here for the Blue Jays, putting together a couple of first downs on this drive as they are into Falcon territory. Once again, a chance to remind you that our next event here on BlueJayTV.com will be Blue Jay Volleyball Tuesday night against the University of Wisconsin Whitewater. Should be a great matchup there. First serve, 7 o'clock. So make sure you're logged in, or better yet, come in person to R.A. Faginal Hall and check out NCAA Volleyball. We'll be at R.A. Faginal Hall Tuesday and Thursday of next week for Blue Jay Volleyball, 7 o'clock for both of those matches. Henkel on 4th down and 4. This one is intercepted.
Ducklow with the interception.
And coming out here
First out of bounds
to the
near
near
side.
sideline is Connor Ducklow, a 6'4" freshman from Spring Valley, Wisconsin. He gets the interception as Noah Hankel just trying to create something, trying to get that first down, and Ducklow gets the interception for the Falcons. And it's Seth Howard now backing at quarterback for the Falcons. 9:39 left to play here in this one. Howard looking here to the near side. Pass is complete to number 86, Aaron Childers. And Childers gets across the 40-yard line of Elmhurst all the way down to the 38-yard line. He was tackled on the play by Brett Von Swedler. Ball spotted at the 38-yard line of Elmhurst University. 1st and 10 for the Falcons as we approach the 9-minute mark of this one. 3 wide receivers to the top of your monitor. And this time it's going to be Howard keeping it. And Howard lost his balance a little bit and dives at the 31-yard line, pickup of 7.
31.
Second down, 3 yards to go here for River Falls. Keep the ball on the ground here. This is Isaiah Randall, the ball carrier. Well, Coach Matt Walker, the head coach, now in his 12th year as the head coach, he's saying that, we can expect this Falcons team to be the fastest operating offense you maybe have ever seen. And, boy, we have seen signs of it here this afternoon. Putting up 60 against the Blue Jays as they keep it on the ground again here to Randall. Randall breaks a tackle and gets into the red zone at the 20-yard line. Pickup of about 9. Antonio Carrillo was in on the tackle along with Charles Scott. He was there as well, but the ball is spotted right at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 here, Falcons. 7.5 minutes remaining in this one. Splitting out wide is Trejo, and instead it's going to be Howard as he does his fancy job of trying to stay in bounds the best he could. He got shoved out of bounds by Riley Eastman.
First down on that carry.
He picks up 10, and it's going to be 1st and goal from the 10. But both of these two teams with 2 quality quarterbacks. Howard sends a man in motion. Howard is going to keep it himself again to the near side, and he'll pick up about 7 yards on the play. He was tackled there by Eric Thames.
Thames with the tackle.
Ball spotted at the 3, so 7 yards on that play by Howard. 2nd and goal from the 3. Howard under some pressure, and he gets going to get sacked.
Down for a loss.
It's going to be Charles Scott getting credit with the sack.
Scott was there for the Blue
Off
Jays.
the edge. Boy, he came in awful quick. Nice play that time by Charles Scott, the junior from San Diego, California.
Antonio Carrillo had got there first for Elmhurst.
Carrillo got there as well for the Blue Jays. So it's going to be 3rd down and goal, ball all the way back to the 9. Howard now looking left. Now he's going to roll to the right, throwing into the corner of the end zone. Incomplete.
Intended for Johnson.
Intended target was Riley Johnson, 6'4" sophomore wide receiver from Milwaukee. And now it's going to bring up a 4th down situation, and Looks like the field goal unit coming in here now. Cade Henry will attempt a 25-yard field goal.
Henry to attempt the field goal.
It's been an adventure with him on the extra points. See what happens here on the field goal attempt. 25-yarder. That one is up, and it is good.
And good.
So the field goal makes it 63 for the Falcons with 5:32 remaining in the game. Boy, I tell you what, this this River Falls team looking awful impressive, and even though they lost a ton of talent from last year's team, looks like that they are going to, make a run at Whitewater and La Crosse for the conference championship. Making pretty much a pretty good statement here this afternoon, saying to Whitewater and La Crosse that, hey, we should be in the talks for our conference championship.
Blue Jays back deep. In the middle,
it's a very good conference, as I mentioned, the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference.
Stabline and Cavallo join him. Krisky kicking it off for the Falcons.
So Krisky will kick it off here once again here for the Falcons.
Kick in the air.
It's off a really pretty good kick, and again taken at the goal line. And Perry gets it across the 15, and they'll spot it at the 17-yard line, a 17-yard return. As Perry caught it right at the goal line, and Perry comes up shaking a bit. And another Blue Jay is down on the field here. 5:21 remaining. Again, the Blue Jays are off next week. They will be back in action 2 weeks from today for their CCIW conference opener here at Langhorse Field. They'll be taking on the Augustana Vikings 2 weeks from today, September 17th, and we'll have that for you here on BlueJayTV.com. Injured player for the Blue Jays, number 43, Chris Reeves, sophomore. Innes with a little bit of help, but coming off under his own power is Chris. And some sprinkles starting to come down here at Langhorse Field. Noah Henkel handing the ball off. And no gain that time. They did say about a 30% chance of a shower, but very, very light. And just a couple of raindrops coming down right now as we are at the 5-minute mark of this fourth quarter. It's a loss of a couple, so second down and call it second and 12 as Noah Henkel remains at quarterback here for the Blue Jays, replacing Connor Buck. Second and 12. Henkel to the far side on the slant pattern. Pass is complete, and that is going to be awful close to a first down to the 28-yard line, a gain of 13. And it is a first down.
Gettenby with the catch.
Aiden Gettenby, the wide receiver, the freshman from Algonquin, Dundee Crown product, comes up with the catch and a first down. Nice route, nice throw by Henkel. First and 10 from the 29-yard line. Back to the ground game.
Gallen, the ball carrier.
Run by 36.
Olsen with the tackle.
6-yard pickup by Pollock. The ball is spotted at the 35-yard line. It'll bring up second down and 4 here for the Blue Jays. Ball at their own 35-yard line, 3:43 remaining. 3 wide receivers to the bottom, 1 to the top of your monitor. They're going to keep it on the ground. Pollock.
Pollock, the ball carrier.
Maybe well, it looks like they're going to spot it right at the 35-yard line. By the way, while we got a chance here, special shout out and thank you to Kevin Juday, the Director of Sports Information here at Elmhurst University, providing us with all the stats, the game notes, the rosters. Kevin also providing us with a very delicious and nutritious lunch at halftime. We appreciate that. As we are at the 3-minute mark of this one here from Langhorst Field. Noah Hankel working out of the gun in relief of Connor Buck. Hankel looking, and that one underthrown a bit.
Incomplete.
So it'll bring up 4th down and 4. And it looks like the punting unit coming in.
Intended for Cockrell.
Ryan Brenner
Punting unit
will apparently punt it away. Maybe the Blue Jays will try a fake situation here. Who knows? Back deep, Michael Brown for the Falcons. So Brenner apparently will punt it away, and he does get off the punt.
Kick in the air. Line drive.
And this one is going to roll. It's going to take a nice Blue Jay roll. The Blue Jays thought it may have hit somebody. That may be a live football, but doesn't look like it is. And now the 2 officials are going to talk things over. The Blue Jays, okay, they're going to give it to the Falcons at about the 12.
One guy standing up here.
Cuts the player from Elmhurst at his spot.
Yep, this guy's on.
So it falls from the 35.
Okay, so it was initially touched at the 35, and so that's where the play ends. So Falcon football, 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. 2:34 remaining. The Blue Jay crowd not liking that one, but seems to be the right call. By the way, I have to say, very impressive tailgating before the ball game during the parking lot there at the top of your monitor. A lot of good-looking food being cooked out there in the parking lot. More of the same 2 weeks from today when the Blue Jays take on the Augustana Vikings.
Price, the ball carrier.
No, it is Price. Brown's the other defensive guy.
Price with the call here, Mike Price, number 22. A couple of 22s. Of course, Michael Brown was the starting cornerback. Mike Price, a freshman running back, wearing number 22 as well. Speaking of 2s, we are under 2 minutes remaining. 2nd down, 5 yards to go. And it's going to bring up now 3rd down and about 2. Again, it was Price with the carry for the Falcons. Ball at the 43-yard line, so it is going to be 3rd down and 2. They need to get to the 45-yard line. Once again, we want to thank you for logging on to BlueJayTV.com, letting us be a part of your Labor Day weekend. It's been all Falcons, the number 18th ranked team in the country. Looking impressive here this afternoon. Price, the ball carrier again, and he will pick up the 1st down. Carry a couple of Blue Jay defenders close to midfield. And now we are under a minute remaining. And probably 2 more plays to go here before this one can be called a final. And the Falcons look to be getting into victory formation here. Connor Offenthi is into the game. He becomes the 4th quarterback for the Falcons. He takes a knee. He's a 6'4" sophomore from Marshall, Minnesota. And that actually will be the final play of the game as both teams are walking on midfield to congratulate each other, shake hands. as the Falcons from the University of Wisconsin River Falls comes away with the road victory. The season opener here this afternoon from Langhorst Field, and they win it by a score of 63-0 over the Blue Jays of Elmhurst University. So that will do it. The Blue Jays will regroup, and they'll have 2 weeks to prepare for their next game, which will be against the Augustana Vikings 2 weeks from today, right here at Langhorst Field, 1 o'clock kickoff. Again, our next Blue Jay event will be this Tuesday night from R.A. Fagina Hall. Blue Jay women's volleyball taking on University of Wisconsin Whitewater. That will be a 7 o'clock p.m. first serve. For Glenn Liljeberg, Mark Kruger saying so long from Langhorst Field. We thank you for tuning in to Blue Jay football. It's been all Falcons here today. 63-0, your final score. Have a great rest of your weekend. So long, everybody.